Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Sekou Kene. Tonight we are having another edition of our show. This is called Digging Deeper. Tonight we are going to dig deeper into the elections, specifically the numbers. We're going to make some comparative analysis when it comes to numbers from all the counties. So brace yourself. Uh, Here are the entire map for the elections. So we're going to be going to all the counties, individual counties, to share with you what happened, what went wrong, what did not happen, especially when it comes to number as they were reported. I want to make sure that you can hear us. We are using a different machine tonight. Hopefully it works. But yeah, I want to encourage you all to share the show. Please go ahead and do so.
Oh nana, oh Tomsi, Fadinyalo Beniote, Fadinyalo Beniote, Signorialo Beniote, Monipe, Fadinyalo Beniote, Fadinyalo Beniote, Signorialo Beniote, oh nana. Africa unite, Liberia united. Forget all the things that happened in the past. It's time to come together as one. You got some blame on you, I got some blame on me. Motula molu moka, mo frani mo jeleko. Ikana nyembuya, ikana isinyo nyembuya. Ikana juya, ikana itunyo juya de. Como be badima, mo be fadima. Ikani fade tesi, ikani fade tesi yo. Fadinyalo beniote, fadinyalo beniote. Signorialo beniote, ngwanepe. Fadinyalo beniote, fadinyalo beniote, signorialo beniote. Oh no, ngwanepe. The people that crying for justice, sitting at them not talking. You let them drunk in tears. I can't let that be love, Mademalu. I can't let that be love, Mademalu. Take a look at the children. Education is important. Our mothers are crying for justice. The children are crying for justice. I ain't a moolah. Politician way in a moolah. I ain't a moolah. Politician way in a moolah.
I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. I want to encourage all of you to share the show. If you can see and hear, let me know because we are using a different machine tonight. Because this is not about you seeing my face tonight. It's going to be about the numbers. It's going to be about the elections. we're gonna make sure that we talk about some things that are important to you. First and foremost, we're gonna go to this um, stuff right here. If you can, I don't know if you can see it. The election. We are going to talk about the electoral map. So overall, according to the so-called result from the National Elections Commission, um, they have almost 99.97% of the entire elections, and they have about total vote valid and invalid one 1,948 and then 485, which constitute largely the about 78.83% of uh, the the registered voters. That means the turnout was very, very huge, right? I mean, at this time around, for the most part, our elections in a few years back has been around 75, 76, percentage point of the registered voters. But if you look at the entire election process, to tell you how the whole process is fraudulent, you will go, you know, to tell you the entire process is fraudulent, the way you know it, you go by county, county by county, and even some district. For example, we're going to go to Maryland. Going to Maryland, we will show you a district that is CPP1 in Maryland. So we're going to go to representative first, and then we'll go to a district that is CPP1 in Maryland, and then we'll tell you the number of votes that CPP person accumulated in Maryland. Let's do this. Okay, Maryland County District. So now here is a district number 2 in Maryland County. A CPP candidate in Maryland. His name is Williams Anthony. Anthony Williams. But they always put the names in reverse. Williams Anthony F. CPP 8,105. Then that is a district, just one district in Maryland. CPP candidate in Maryland receive about 8,105, right? Then in the same Maryland, for the presidency, look here. In the same Maryland, for the presidency, you have, let's go to Maryland so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. For the presidency, you have George Weah with 35,784 votes. You have Joseph Boakai with 5,505 votes. Then Appleton Junior W, whatever his name is, GDM, with 1,770 votes. Now, here's the point. Mr. Cummings received 1,243 votes in the entire Maryland County. And one district of Maryland was CPP candidate CPP candidate in the same Maryland received 8,105 votes. How possible is that? 8,500 in just one county, one district, in the 3 electoral districts there. One district voted for a CPP candidate for representative, receiving 8,000. You know, the people, they know what they can steal, but they don't know how to steal. How possible is that? CPP candidate for district, not even for Senate, received 8,105 votes. That's just a candidate for a district. And he won. That was the person that defeated Buffer Chambers. Can you imagine? The man who is the arrowhead for the team received only 1,200 votes. Then a district representative received 8,000 plus. Even they themselves, they don't believe that number. That is not possible. It is not possible. That's not Liberia. It is not possible for somebody in Liberia to vote. Most of the people receive their recognition, their support because of the standard bearer. Most representative candidates ride on the standard bearers, popularity and support for the most part. When you see that people like Solomon George, Akala Gray, they're now winning because Jowiah is not popular as he used to be. So because of that, everybody was riding under his wing without their own merit, they are losing. For a representative candidate under the CPP to have accumulated 8,000 plus votes, then Commis is receiving 1,243 votes. It means that what they did, they allow the representative candidate numbers to go free because they want to show like the process is free and fair, but then take out Commis on the number. As a matter of fact, I received a text, a WhatsApp text from one of the insider. I was told this afternoon, I said I was going to talk about it, but I was told to wait till tomorrow. But if I'm tempted, I'm going to talk about it. It's so crazy. But we decided today that we're going to come here and inform you and tell you about how these numbers were distributed among people. Where in the world, in Maryland, George Weah, we got 35,000 votes. Boakai, that never went there, that cared less about them, we have 5,000 votes. Appleton Jr., that you never heard about, somebody, unknown person, nobody knows him, nobody cared about him, nobody even heard about this guy. He did not campaign, he did nothing, absolutely whatsoever. For that person to receive 1,700 votes. Even people who are in the CPP, their family, even supporters of CPP, Mr. Kumi supporters in America here, and their family are way more than this number, 1,243. That is to tell you that the process was fraudulent. You know, people who are celebrating these numbers, they never expected themselves to be anywhere they found themselves. Appleton Jr., nobody knows him. Nobody even cared about him. He doesn't even care about anything. He just saw himself somewhere in there, making it to look like as if he is relevant, but he's not, because these numbers are insignificant. Imagine George Weah accumulating 73% of the total vote, 35,784 votes. Boga getting 11% when they gave Appleton 3.61%, giving Cummings 2. Those are insignificant numbers. If these numbers were around, George Weah getting 30%, Boga getting 30%, Appleton getting around, 25, 30, 25, 28%, then these numbers will be somehow relevant. But they added this number there just to eliminate Cummings and other people. So, let me go back. I don't know whether you guys are seeing the numbers I'm playing with here, but let me go back to the screen so I can add it to the screen so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So here's it. Here, Appleton has 1,770 votes. George Weah in the blue here, that's George Weah. George Weah got 35,000 votes, 35,784 votes, which constitute about 73% of the vote. So they take all the number from Cummings and give it to George Weah and just give Joseph Boakai some numbers here. They know that nobody could vote for Joseph Boakai and leave Cummings out. They know very well if this election was going to be free, fair, and transparent, the numbers here would have been different. Anybody could understand and believe that, well, if this was, somehow between George Weah and Cummings going neck and neck in the Southeast, that would be understandable. But there's no way even George Weah could beat Cummings in Maryland this time around. In fact, seditions themselves before the election, they said George Weah will get some vote in Maryland, but they don't believe that George Weah could beat in Maryland. They said Cummings is going to win Maryland, Cummings could win River G, but they believe George Weah will win in other southeastern counties. But to make the cheating so apparent, for people to know that, yes, indeed, these guys, they are cheaters, but they don't even know how to cheat. They are doing it so stupidly that people will tell. Where in the world you have a representative candidate for the same party, the same CPP, to have accumulated 8,000 votes? How can CPP people go and vote for their representative, about 8,000 people, and then only 1,200 people from the same, not the same district, for the entire county voting for him? Let's move from there. Let's go to Monserrado. We are doing this for you. You are doing these things for you to understand, the magnitude, of the cheating. It was so apparent, so clear. Even a blind man can know that it was clear. But in fact, before I even go to those numbers, we decided today, we said we're going to come here to talk about some of the people, because I'm going to go back to this number. That was the main reason why we're on the show today, to tell you we were going to highlight areas, we're going to highlight county and district wherein cheating actually happened. So, but before we do that, we said today that we're going to inform you about some of the lawmakers that they said, for me, until they can finish and conclude the whole, name calling selection process and everything until they can finish all of them. And I see the reaction of the Liberian people. Until the whole thing can be accepted by the Liberian people, I still believe the entire process is fraudulent. I don't believe in it. I don't trust anything. So now, but if we're going to take their result at face value, we're going to take it, for what it is, then hold on first. It's a prayer time. Yeah, so if we're going to take their whole thing at face value, we're going to talk about the people that actually went into this election as incumbents and that they were defeated. According to the information we have here, it was about 88 seats comprised of Senate and the House of Representatives that were up for grabs. Among them, two of the lawmakers, passed away. Hem Bashu of Grand Bassa County and Daniel Nitton of Bapolu, they passed away. May their soul rest in peace before the election. And then one of the lawmakers, decided to run for Senate. I mean, and now another one too didn't run for, they didn't run for re-election. So about, if you minus those three, the one that didn't run and the two people that passed on, you have 85 seats up for grabs. Up to 45 of them were defeated. On the list here, we all know the famous name, Buffer Chimber, who was the Speaker of the House, got defeated. Moses Alcala Gray defeated. Solomon George defeated. C.B. Bashir defeated. Lawrence Morris defeated. Rostelin Dennis defeated. Jimmy Smith defeated. Johnson Gwekolo defeated. Mariam B. Fofana defeated. Clarence Masakwe defeated. Francis Numali defeated. Binya D. Howard defeated. Prince O. Tokpa defeated. Roger Domas defeated. Edward Kafia defeated. And Tiberuso Taponwe defeated. Vincent Willie defeated. Larry P. Nyonkwe defeated. George Bole. Wow. Larry Nyonkwe was supposed to be ANC representative. He was elected as Unity Party earlier. Now this time around, he was going as CPP, and he was defeated. And I think he was the chair of the campaign for the CPP in that place. I told you guys, these things is well calculated and executed in a manner that they wanted it. Right now, let me go. Let me continue. Waller, who was in the house there, was defeated. But guess what happened? Thomas Yaya Nimle, a guy who was the spokesperson for Model, is not elected per this report, but per this result, he's now elected as senator. George Bully defeated as representative. Alice Sherishel defeated. Alfred Quaywood defeated. Haja Fatah Sayon defeated. Finda Lansana defeated. Isaac Rowland defeated. Mary Canwood defeated. Damn. Almost. Let me read the rest of it. Kanye Wessel, defeated. Joseph Matthew, defeated. Bob Sharif, defeated. Papa Colley, defeated. Albert Hill, defeated. Mambu Soni, defeated. Henson Kiazulu, defeated. Emerson Kamara, defeated. Vamuya Kone, defeated. Rabal Swabi, defeated. Hence Bashu, defeated. Okay. For the Senate, those were representatives. For the Senate, Maurice Sitoma, defeated. Daniel Nathan, deceased. He passed away. Jonathan Kapie, okay. Again, to tell you the process. Jonathan Kapie used to be Liberty Party. Jonathan Kapie and the other man, Steven Zago, they were the one from the Liberty Party. Now they were all former members of the Liberty Party. They all got defeated. That's why some of the people that really supported Yombly and believing that Yombly will have any impact on the election, they thought that Yombly would be the reason why Boakai would have won the election in Grand Bassa County, and also Jonathan Kapie would have won it in Grand Bassa County. And because of Yombly's leverage on the rescue team, they kept Steve Zago on the Unity Party ticket, who is also here defeated. Okay, but let me call the rest of the people. Let me start with the Senate again. Maurice Sitoma, defeated. Daniel Nathan, deceased. Jonathan Kapie, defeated. Steve Zago, defeated. Community Wisher, defeated. Wow. Meton Tiaje, all the money eater there that were there, Meton Tiaje, Community Wisher, almost all the people there that we are calling their name right now, all of them were taking the money. All of them, they took the $35 or $30,000 they were getting every year, every budget. Okay, and Milton Tiaje defeated, and Henrik Topa defeated. Dr. Henrik Topa defeated. Francis Pay defeated. Vani Sherman defeated. The man who say when senator then when they suddenly retire, they and their children and their wife then should be taking money until they die. He too defeated. He put it on Travalis in relation to him the other day. He said because of 7 persons from his own tribe, ran from that tribe, ran against each other, and the other people then that were not planted in the race that they won the election. But Vani Sharma defeated. And then Dr. Jim Tonola didn't contest. So Marshall Dennis also defeated. Imagine the way they did this whole election thing. They choose to actually play with the presidential ballot. They choose to play with the presidential ballot because we told you guys here that George Weah and the CDC that they care more about the presidency. People were arguing with us, say cool. You guys are, saying that John Weah will cheat. But we have had several elections here. John Weah and the CDC, they always let it go. They always let it go when they defeat, they let it go. Yes. And we made it very clear. We said those were not presidency. In Liberia, the one who called the last button on Joe's coat, that was the presidency for the CDC. If they lose the presidency, that means they have nothing else. CDC lawmakers in the House of Representatives are not going to pull anything in Joe Weah pocket. But whether they are in the House of Representatives or they're not there, as long Joe Weir is in power, Akala Gray can be appointed to any position, even if he's not working in the government. As long as he remains one of the chairmen for the CDC party, he's one of the vice chair, so he will still get money. But when Joe Weir is not in power, they will not get money. So they know very well the most important position, the most important person in the CDC is George Weir. So no matter what happens, they try to play with the numbers from the presidency and try to also see their strength with other people, representatives, senators, to see where they stand. They thought CDC, the way they were sharing money around, they thought they still have some supporters. And I can tell you, if this election was free and fair and transparent, based on what we are seeing now, it will have ended between the Unity Party and CPP. Based on what we know now, Cummings got more number than George Weir in this election. But they temper with the numbers. Let me go to Monserrato and compare that to the entire electoral process as to what really happened. Let's go to Monserrato first. Monserrato, in the Senate race. If you look at Monserrato, where's Monserrato? Okay, see here. Let me put it on the screen so you can see it. Let me put what I'm looking at right now on the screen so you guys can see it. So now, if you go to Monserrato County, here is it. Oh, that's Bummy. Okay. You see here, Monserrato County, they give San Joseph 375,392, which constitutes about 56.45% of the entire vote. They gave, what's his name? Women Pay. They gave Women Pay about 156,000 votes. And they gave our sister Victoria Koko of the CPP 50,292 votes. That's just Monserrato alone. Now, if Victoria Koko get that number from the representative, from the Senate, from the senator, from the Senate race, guess what? Ellis Comey way less than that. In the entire country, Ellis Comey get 29,000 votes. In the entire country, Ellis Comey get 29,000 votes. You know, when I look at people happy in the election where you have 2.4 million people running, where in the world Joe Weir will get 800,000 votes, Joseph Waka will get 796,000 votes, Appleton that nobody knows will get 40,000 votes. Lucini Camara, when I see Akko people say they're happy. In the entire country, you see Lucini Camara get 35,000 votes. Then you happy with that? You say, I'm happy with Akko position. You are cheating. Both Akko, Komis, not only Akko, Komis, Gonglo, they were cheated. The numbers they are having, it does not reflect the vote that they receive. Where in the world, in Liberia, Joseph Barker will get 700, close to 800,000 votes. George Weah, who is incompetent, who Liberian people say they are tired of, George Weah will have 800,000 votes. Where in the world? Okay, let's agree now. Commission number is okay. Let's agree with that. Do you believe that Lusoni Kamara got less than 50,000 votes in the entire country? Do you believe that? Do you believe that Victoria Kokwe in Moswado is popular more than Lusoni Kamara of Akko? Do you believe that this man or new man, Eriko Appleton, will get more votes than Gonglo, than Lusoni Kamara, than Komis? Okay, Victoria is part of the CPP. How come CPP just 50,000? The last time Komis got over 120 some more, 27,000 in 2017. But now, this time around, they kind of gave Mr. Komis 29,000 votes in the entire country. 29,000 votes in the entire country, and gave Victoria Kokwe, who is a candidate for the CPP, 50,000 votes. Even that number does not reflect her number. She got way more than that. There's no way Sir Joseph can get 300 plus thousand votes. There's no way. I mean, women pay. A woman pay. Women pay that nobody trusts. Women pay that nobody believes. Women pay, there's no way women can get more votes than Victoria Kokwe, giving him 150,000 votes. Isn't it insulting that women pay will get 150,000 votes? Just in most of our other communities get less than 50,000 votes. Isn't that insulting? Sometimes when I think about some of these guys' behavior, to be honest with you, when I think about the way the CDC and the Election Commission, the way they disrespected the Liberian people by changing the number to their liking, when I think about it, it hurts. It's not about who win or who lose. My thing about this whole election, I just wanted to see a level playing field. Let's know exactly what the Liberian people want and how they are thinking. What the Liberian people want. But you cannot disrespect the people in the manner in which they did it. This is so irritating. When you think about it, it's so insulting. Thinking that other people are stupid. You know, few things. That's why I can blame Joseph Boaga in all these things. To destroy the opposition. To destroy the opposition. For Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party and the ALP to destroy the opposition. Liberian people can never forgive them. Because it was so stupid and they were so selfish. Where in the world? In 2020, 3 years before this election, everybody believed then that the CPP was the only alternative to the nightmare. That the CPP was the only alternative to changing the direction of our country. Because of their personal greed, they decided to destroy the CPP. You know, for me, I don't know about you. When it comes to seriousness, when it comes to Liberia, when it comes to making decisions for Liberia, I have no respect for certain people. I got no respect for Bernard Ure. I got no respect for Costa. I got no respect for Tilia Ure. And my reason is very simple. They don't love Liberia. They only love themselves and what is in it for them. They care less about Liberia. They care less about the children. They care less about their children. They care less about the future of Liberia. They are so wicked. And they are shameless for the most part. And they too, they take Liberian people for a ride. They think Liberian people are stupid. And don't get me wrong, most of the people that follow them are very, very, very stupid. They're taking the Liberian people for a joke. When Liberian people were together, when they had the opportunity to change our country. Who's calling? I mean, I'm on the show. We haven't started taking call yet. They know very well that Liberian people were ready to collectively change the country. They know very well. They saw that as an opportunity, instead allowing the Liberian people to decide, instead allowing the Liberian people to choose their own destiny, but they inserted their own egos, their personal ego in there, and care less about what becomes the future of Liberian people. Imagine a united CPP. Right now, a fragmented opposition. Fragmented opposition, they have to cheat to even make it to the second round. They have to cheat to even make it to the second round with a fragmented, divided opposition or destroyed opposition. But yet, they have to cheat their way to make it to the second round. Imagine with a united opposition. You know, where I sit right now, I'm going to limit my attack on Joseph Boakai as a person. I will limit my attack on George Weah as a person. The reason is very simple. We are not campaigning anymore. We are just pointing to the facts. Because attacking Joseph Boakai at this point may sound like we are supporting George Weah against him. Or attacking George Weah in person at this point will also sound like we are supporting Joseph Boakai against him. And where I sit right now, I'm yet to make up my mind as to who, if any, I will support in the second round, if there will be a second round. Because I still believe the people of Liberia will reject this result. But if they don't reject it, if they hold the result as is, they will definitely, there will be a second round. And I don't want to sound like I'm supporting one against the other at this point. But we will not shy away from pointing to the fact that the election was stolen, that the National Election Commission of Liberia is a fraud. And let me tell you something. Some may think that these things are funny. Some may think that these things will just go free. Some may think that you can do this to the poor people and nothing will happen. Some may think that, these things, you can just do it because you have power, because you have the opportunity to do it, because nobody's looking, or because you think, say, maybe you're doing it, believing that you are so sophisticated that you're not going to be caught. But believe me, God up there, God does not sleep. Most of them will pay for it. Sometimes we'll not even be aware of their retribution. I'm telling you, man. People suffer. Women suffer. They spend their money, hard-earned money, to campaign. Some of them went into the retirement cover to campaign. Let the people will. It's not a problem to lose, but let the people will prevail. Allow the people to vote and let their vote be counted. At least, for God's sake. Let someone want to lose and let it lose rightly. We can't take the people vote from them because you have power. You can't take the people vote from them because you think you are the election commission. You have the right to do whatever you want to do. You're not sleeping. Some of you who believe in Christianity, I know very well, that God does not sleep. If you are a Muslim, you know very well God does not sleep. There are a lot of things you think you will do it. Nobody will attack you. Nobody will fight you. Maybe because the justice system is somehow fraudulent in Liberia. Nobody can take you to court and win anything because you control everything. But you don't control God. Some of you will be disgraced very, very soon. Some of you will be disgraced, and some of you will bow your head in shame. Some of them will not even live to tell the story. Sometimes when some shame overcome you, when some disgrace overcome you, you can't even live because shame can be too much for you. That woman they call Deviator Lansana, whatever her name is, she's a fraud. She's a fraud. And they will all pay for it. They will all be disgraced. I mean, imagine the amount of Liberians that went out there in the heat, in the hot sun. The sun was really, really hot that day, election day. Spend their time. I called my family. I told them to go and vote. And not only they voted, but they showed me how they voted. There are a lot of other families that I know. The one that were expecting to go spend 1 hour, 2 hours to come back, somebody spent 5 hours, 6, 7 hours under the sun for one person to just take the people election vote away and distribute it the way they want. We have been going through the numbers. Now we have acknowledged the fact that they allow the down ballots to flow. That's why they get some surprises in some area. Not all of them. Major candidates, they play with the numbers. But the number that they play with for the most part is the presidency. They in fact distributed the presidency before the election as to how the number is going to come. They cheated the Liberian people. But again, today they think they have power. They think they know everything. They think they are sophisticated. They think that Liberian people, they don't have the ability to fight back. But God is watching over you. All of us. Leadership comes from God. And when you are giving the leadership, you should make sure you treat your people fairly. You guys will be disgraced. especially that election commission. Every member of that election commission that are aware of this cheating. And someone started talking already. The text message that I have on the WhatsApp is long, explaining how this cheating happened. We're going to read it. Like I said, I was to read it today, and I was told to let today pass. We have to go through them. We have to discuss it. We'll come here maybe on the weekend. We'll read it to the Liberian people. Right now, people are reaching out for support. At the end of the day, if the Liberian people agree with whatever result they have right now, we'll have no choice. Personally, me, I might take a position. I might support Joseph Boakai or George Weah. Maybe. But the Liberian people, the Kama, they will not let you guys go, especially this election commission. Steve, welcome.
Hi, Mr. Kenneth. What's up?
I'm just, feeling very funny about the level of cheating. Where in the world, Steve, CPP candidate for district number 2 will get 8,000 plus vote in that district, then communists get 1,000 votes in the entire country, in the entire county?
Well, Mr. Kenneth, we all are aware that the people cheated. It is not the people can say it's not a strange phenomenon. We just overlooked we underestimated the level of criminality. And so this is why I speak the way I speak and I talk the way I talk. Interestingly, they're following, they're watching. And hey, like you said, you might support somebody. Me, I'm having a very big reservation. I know you and I we've talked behind closed doors. I'm having a reservation. I am having a reservation. But there's one thing I said last night on Lofa Junior show. I want to make it clear to the Liberian people. If Mr. Cummings decides to run 2029, I want you to please listen. You're accused me. You're accused Sekou, but Sekou can speak for himself. You're accused the entire network of being bought, sold to Cummings, for Cummings, and so forth. Even when we were warning you that there would be cheating, if Mr. Cummings decides to run 2029, I want you to know that me, Steve Boley, I will be on Mr. Cummings' campaign team. I will be part of Mr. Cummings' campaign team. I will be part of the team that will support Mr. Cummings 100% to the end. I want you to know that. I've made up my mind 100% to support Mr. Alexander B. Cummings if he decides to run. I don't want you coming back with your short attention span. It's, we knew a long time ago you were supporting Cummings. That is your belief. I don't care about your belief because it's not important to me. What's important to me is the facts and what I'm telling you. And I'm saying it here. I will volunteer. I will go there by myself and make myself available to support Mr. Cummings. I want you to hear, if he decides to run, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings is the only Liberian that I am making an open pledge to today that I will support if he decides to run for 2029. And it shouldn't be strange to you. But Mr. Kennedy, let's get to the issue. Because few days ago, right on this thing there where we told you, oh, I got to send this thing to Monk. So I wanted to know.
I tell the link to the monk. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I think that the wrong link you sent at the old link.
No. I sent the link to you just now, but they may keep going to the old link.
Yeah.
I'm happy to the man.
So, Mr. Cannibal, let me say this. Let me give that a
let me send it to him again.
Okay, let me give that a caveat, folks. I know I see some comments people. Oh, thank you, thank God you account for whatever. Let me say it to you. I'm not going to be part of that regular camping team what you're doing on Facebook and you're doing it the way you're doing it. Meanwhile, I support everything. While I support, I go in hard. I am not part of that thing. I'm not only going to come to your table. I'm saying it right now. I will come with a professionalism and all of that. But I also have a radical side of me. I don't do that regular thing you do. You already know me. I don't fall in line. So if you think you'll be part of Cummins' team and you'll be hanging out with criminal there, oh, we have a problem. Oh, we will have a problem. I want you to know that. I don't play like that. I give you a typical example. That thing where I see you get represented or spoon talk and spoon and a criminal. No, it's not going to work. No, it's not going to happen. I think Mr. Cummins will come and fire me for a team. Because there will not be small noise in there. I don't play like that. If we're going into win, we're going into win. And we must set the example that we want to win. We'll not be telling the people, say, the other group are crook, the other group are criminal, but we're hanging out with crooks and criminal. We're not going to do that. You just know that already. We're not going to send no mixed messaging. We're not going to do that. We're not going to have people who ready to play games. They're not serious. We're talking serious things. You're on Facebook joking. Your friend and I, your friend. I don't have a problem with it. But when it comes to our political venture, we own our political venture. We're not about that. And we're serious. And we will start the work. I just waiting. Let Mr. Cummins say, let me tell you today. So Mr. Cummins announce it. I won't tell you today. If Mr. Cummins announce it tomorrow, I want to tell you, say, me, I'm part of Mr. Cummins team tomorrow. If he announces tomorrow, he will run for 2029. I'm not waiting for the one. The campaign for me starts as of the next day he announces. The campaign for me, it starts automatically. The work starts automatically. I'm not waiting for, let's wait for 2029. Let's wait. No. The work starts. So, Mr. Canada, my late announcement I wanted to make. But let's move forward. Yeah, let's move forward because...
Anyway, President, welcome.
What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm here. I'm here.
So Mr. Canada, I know Montjoy. Because we can't just be sitting and say, oh, and the other person like bro with you. We gotta put our heart there, we put our faith there, we'll be inside. So we'll be inside. But Mr. Canada, on the same podcast, we told the Liberian people that Costa was sent. Right here, we said it to you. And we told you that you should watch out. Costa coming, that he coming. It's not easy. And yeah, we told you. You ain't believe it. I listened today to Costa full. Stop it. I listened today to his full conversation he had. A couple of things in there were confirmation. They were not information for some of us. Couple of information were confirmation. They were not information for us. But, you know, I know Costa is watching. Costa watching. Let me tell Costa something straight in the face. Let me tell him. I like how he said, when you wrong people, you need to seek forgiveness. Costa, it's not enough for you to tell the word and the Liberian people that you're conspiring against Mr. Cummins. It's not enough. You need to apologize. You need to seek forgiveness because you lied on an honest, good human being. And that's not the right thing to do. And all of you who supported the lies against Cummins, some of you are our friends. Some of you decided you'll be former friend because we stood for the truth back then. So you decided you would take another position, whether you man or you woman. When we told you, say the concocted that plan to go against Mr. Cummings to make Mr. Cummings look ugly for no reason. And we told you, I said, we would never stand for that. That even if it were Joseph Boaga that were doing that too, or if it were Joey, we will still take the stand that we took. It's not good for you to lie against people and get people in trouble. All of you who did that, you need to also apologize. Shame on you, whether you man or you woman. The thing that we're discussing today about the government cheating, the thing that we're talking about the Liberian people being in a bigger problem in the conspiracy, whether Director Lasana and other people that are involved, that you're enable the environment. Because you're contributed to destroying the CPP, you're contributed to lie on men and women, grown people. You're Satan. You're welcome lies. You're created an environment. I used to see some of you sitting on shows defending these things. And I sat down for long and said, how do you sleep? When you say that, you just laugh on somebody, you say that politics. How do you sleep? How? Somebody ain't do nothing to you. They never, Mr. Cummings never did anything to some of you. Some of you are just internally intimidated. You have inferiority complex. Because some of you have problems with other people that support Mr. Cummings. Automatically you projected that on him. But you sit down with your two faces and you say, but Mr. Cummings grew for the country and that the Liberian people rejecting the man. I can see some of you acting intellectual. You're not intellectual. You are not intellectual. You are shameless men and women, grown people. And you all want to blame the poor people back there. We will call ourselves educated people. We can't even say what is right. We can't even say the truth. For example, because I said Joseph Boaga a crook, somebody hate me for it and say I caused the papi. But Joseph Boaga a crook, that's not a lie. It's not a lie. When I say we are a crook, you say, oh, you caused the president. Why must you hate me for the truth? Why? But y'all will go and concoct all these things in the name of politics. But like I said, I will continue to say, when y'all go to the sky, y'all come back. There are some good people. There's some good people who got hearts. They know what is right to do. So what Costa said today, I will hope you will muster the courage to apologize to Mr. Cummings. I will really hope so. He will do that. It is the right thing to do. I think today is one of the days that he said the truth, but in that what he was saying, he was still playing game because his nature is to gamble. Costa is not a serious person. Let me say it to you today. Costa is not a. Let me tell you today. Before Costa thinks, or before Costa start to we can tell exactly what he will do. You don't just pay attention. You don't pay attention. He'll be telling you all he moves. You don't pay attention. Some of you will still follow Costa. Costa King to rebrand himself and to campaign for George Weah. What Costa King to do? And the United Party people you follow inside, it's sweet for you. It's sweet for you. It's sweet for you. You're enable this environment because you're not wanting competition. You're not wanting what is good. You're not wanting what is best. Let me tell you something. When people compete, then they're able to bring up the best. When people compete. But when you just want everything the easy way in life, you can't bring out your best. Sometimes you must be challenged in life. That's what people get into sports and other activities. So if the opposition was there and they said, Joseph Yuma Boaga might go for, he signed a document that they should go together and agree on something. He's supposed to go with what the plan was. If he loses, he accepted result. If he wins, Cummings will be forced to accept the result. We told you this is the right way to go. Y'all say no, y'all get a way to go. Y'all get it normal, y'all get it one, y'all get that one. I see some of you acting like you Holy Ghost filled now. I see your bunch of hypocrite and writing people in back. Oh, brother, my man, brother, I think that we were talking about politics. You laugh and you say, you fall down on your head. That means you'll be on the same level. There's something wrong with you. That means you'll be on that level. You think as somebody who can go and do something funny there and come back and be looking funny in the town? That now you know, say everybody's all white together. That now you know it. Because you want power. You think we're stupid. You're a bunch of users. But anyway, Mom, it's on you, brother. Yeah.
I always love your expose. You know, you can bring fire to the show. That's why people, whenever Steve is missing, they be telling Sekou, bring Steve on, because you know people love to be aroused with this kind of news. But you know, before I can get to the Costa issue, it's just mostly the blatant disrespect for the law and the Constitution. I told people that you got criminals that run this government. They may not be smart in implementing policy that will help the Liberian economy, the Liberian people, but when it comes to criminality, they are masters at it. And I look at the numbers here. You know, when you're doing data science or when you're studying numbers, the three things you look for first. The very first thing you go to something called historical data. You go back 3-4 elections down to get an idea what people did in the past, because the past is a good indicator of the future. That's what you start building a model on. The next thing you do when you know how people voted in the past, when you do your historical data analysis, the next thing you do is to establish a trend. That is what is consistent based on what people did in the past. Then when you establish a trend, then you are able to make a projection. That's how you can tell when you're watching TV in America, people say, oh, CNN cannot project. That's what they did. They look at the historical, they're looking at what's happening, and they look at all the variables, and then they can project. In this election, you cannot make trend of the number. It tells you that this thing is rigged. Sekou, yesterday, I gave you a simple premise. I said, when you walk into a casino, when in election, you got two schools of thought. You got process and you get outcome. They are two important aspects of election. But the process is more important than the outcome, because the outcome is the byproduct of the process. I told you yesterday, when you walk into a casino, every single game or machine that is in the casino is programmed in a way that gives the casino an edge. So when you go into a casino, the casino is not gambling. You are the one gambling. That was the first thing I told you yesterday. Because the casino know that at the end of the day, no matter how many people win randomly, they will still be profitable. That's why they got it termed in how they say the horse always win, because they know every game in the casino is programmed in a way that put the edge in their favor. If anybody believes that Joseph Boakai will go into an election with these criminals and that he can come out as a winner, you must be living on a fool's paradise. That's just what I told you. And I said it yesterday over and over again. It will be crazy for Mr. Cummings, of any opposition leader for that matter, to even consider picking a side. Because what would be the essence of picking a side when the game is already rigged? If you pick a side, then you validate the election. If you stay neutral, then you are telling Liberian people that the election was rigged. So you cannot pick a side. It will be an illogical thing to do, to pick a side in this election. Sekou, you know one thing? When you follow African politics, there are certain trends that is established. The reason why every incumbent want to win in the first round, because it's a psychological thing. When an incumbent wins in the first round, whether he wins by 1 vote or just 2 votes, it planted into the people's mind that he's going to win.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, if you want to be logical, 2 things you must establish. We all know when the election result, when the turnout is very high, it plays to the opposition. When the participation is very low, it plays to the incumbent. And we can all unanimously agree that this election had a higher turnout. So there was a possibility that somebody was sprung a surprise in this election. That is why I told you guys, Cummings is like, I know people don't like to hear it, Cummings is like the Donald Trump of Liberian politics. They both sides hate Cummings because they see him as an outsider. So he's always the first order of operation to eliminate before they can do anything. I told you, CDC will always love the opportunity to meet a Joseph Boakai in an election. Not because they believe they can beat Boakai based on their performance, but because they have an entitlement mindset that when they won an election, Unity Party deprived them of state power. So they are giving Unity Party a dose of everything that they experienced before for the past 12 years. So when you hear CDC talking about, we come here for 12 years, that's why they started playing long ball. Whether it was a cabinet China issue, whether it was a position in the Supreme Court, they knew exactly. They never came for 6, they came for 12 because they believed that they had to wait for 12 years before assuming state power. Now, here is the thing. You remember what happened in 2011 when CDC walked out of the election? You can remember? Mm-hmm. Now, Unity Party know that these elections are rigged, but they don't have the balls to say we'll walk out too, because they know whether they walk out or they stay, they will still be flawed. Like what Madam Sally did in 2011. CDC knew that it was rigged against them, that they couldn't win Madam Sally. So the excuse was we will boycott the election. But what happened in the end? Whether you boycott or you don't boycott, the outcome will remain the same. That's why I said this particular election is structured in a way that there can only be one outcome. and that is a George Weah win. The only difference is pick your person. You want an instant death or you want slow poison. That's just why it is. Either way you play it out. Because here is the thing. They want to make you to believe that the election was so close that there are just few thousand votes that separates George Weah from Joseph Boakai. But we all know it cannot be the same. It's illogical that you can have one of two outcomes and then you still get the same result. If the election result are turned out, then it means the Liberian people vehemently rejected one candidate. It cannot be a tie. If the Liberian people are going to break toward George Weah, it would have been a one round for a Weah because the opposition never accumulated that much of a vote to force it into a round two. The only guy that had a chance to do that was Cummings. Okay, now you eliminated Cummings. So the question is, why will you want to make it look like a tie? Now, if we want to say that George Weah performed so badly that Liberian people couldn't wait to get him out, then we are broke on the Joseph Boakai side, making it a one round. But they are telling you, a sound man like you, that you're so stupid enough to believe that in an election with a higher turnout, that there's only 5,000 or some more votes that separate George Weah from the Joseph Boakai. I mean, like I said, I've never seen that kind of a disrespect before. And at this point in time, like, these guys have no regard for the Liberian people or even the Constitution. We are dealing with talks here, so we can expect the worst every time. That's just why it is.
And this is part of the reasons. This is part of the reasons. Long before the election, we started to sound the alarm that don't vote anything United Party or CDC. Now, based on your point you made, you want to tell me what the communists do to the Liberian people so bad that they will not vote for him. The person who's stealing from them, the people who stole from them, they're not angry at them. It's a total stranger who they're nothing who say akin to what the communists do for them to not vote for him. So this is to tell you, this is to substantiate your point, that it makes no sense. Even the United Party know. And Mr. Kennedy, this is what I'm hearing. I don't know if they will stick with that play. Part of the United Party fallback play is they are dangling this same thing that they did 2011 to the CDC that they won't recount or they will not run. But there are some people that merge with them, say, no, we have to run and pull this thing through. Some of them are saying they don't want to run because they feel that they want on first ballot. They are claiming that they want on first ballot. But let me say this, like Sarah said. Any way you put it, this is a bad situation for Liberia and the Liberian people. This is bad for the next, I don't know how many years they will be in power, whoever will be amongst them. This is not a good place for us to be in the world at this time. Both United Party and CDC cannot, amongst themselves, decide to take this country down the drain for 24 years. They've already done 18. You know what it means for somebody to destroy your life for 18 years? Do you know what it means? Do you really, really know what it means? Now, when you add another 6 there, that 24 years, we are in a trouble. This is problematic. And that thing where you're passing around with, oh, let's go rescue the country. Let's not go rescue the country. I saw an article today from Front Page Africa talking about if Prince Johnson, if CDC gets elected, Prince Johnson raised to be turned over to the international community or whatever it is. Listen, I don't believe any of that thing for these people. These guys are dubious. These guys cannot be trusted. They can't live up to the word, even legal. Can you imagine the audacity to dupe the entire country?
Yeah.
It's a problem. Look at the voting result. Look at the record, like Sarah said. Look at the voting pattern. Mr. Kennedy, there is nothing you can do in history. What are you doing it from a numerical standpoint? What are you doing it from a qualitative standpoint? We always revert to history to determine. For example, if I want to know if somebody got, if I want to know if somebody will be possibly exposed to depression, or some of the children will be having depression, well, I just got to know if there's depression in the family, if there's a history of depression in the family. More likely so, there will be depression down the line, whether it's your pa, your mom, or somewhere. But the truth of the matter is this: these guys are emboldened. They took the level of criminality to the next end. But I want to announce to them on this show that there is a thorough investigation going on to find out all of the key players. You're just here today. All of the key players will be exposed. And let Mr. Kuni say there will be consequences for it. You're watching.
But Steve, just to make a point on what you just said, the reason these elections should be rejected, because if this election slides, it means in the future, if any party will assume power, they will implement the same strategy that once we control the government and we are in power, and there is no other authority that is higher than us, it means they will come also with the whole intention of staying in power for 12 years. So that will be the new standard, that whether you beat me, I don't have to perform because I know I'm already in a position of power and I can overrun the table. So there is nobody that is higher than me in this country. There is no further authority. So that would be the point moving forward, that anytime a political party wins an election, they come in exactly for 12 years and nobody will remove them until their mandate expire. Whether they are performing or not, that will be the new standard that what CDC is trying to establish.
Exactly, regardless of what
so let me come in for a little bit. You know, both of you made some salient point here. But you know, Steve started up by talking about Mr. Cummings, if at all Mr. Cummings decides to run in 2029, he will be on board.
Yes.
You know, the reason why I want to talk about this is because I know very well that leading to this election, Mr. Cummings was very confident that he was going to win it, based on the differences between him and other people when it comes to accountability, when it comes to being a clean hand, not involved in any dubious attitude, not being part of any corruption or political cartels, and nothing else. And Mr. Cummings also believed, coming to this election, thinking that the Liberian people will do the right thing because they are going through a lot. So they want to be, you know, somehow they want some change. And with the way things looking right now, Mr. Cummings cannot say for certain that actually the Liberian people did the right thing or not. So even if Mr. Cummings' intention was to say, if I win this, fine. If I don't win this, I'm done. He can say that because he has no way of knowing whether or not the Liberian people pay him.
Exactly.
That's a point from yesterday. That's why he cannot pick a side, because how do you gauge how the people responded to this election?
Mr. Cummings has no way of knowing whether or not the Liberian people actually rejected him or they voted for him, but he has been, you know, somehow robbed by the political class, you know, to keep themselves to power or in power. And the reason why this whole thing is kind of complicated is that one side of the opposition felt that they deserve to be where they are right now.
Yep.
Whether they got there because of the whole political shenanigans or the cheating that happened, they don't know about that. They don't even care to know. In fact, I saw something from one of my friends who posted, I like Aku position. Because why? That person believed that the position that they put Aku in right now, that person, to him, Aku, they never expected Aku to be at that level. That person, right? Failing to know, Aku number could even be better than what you're seeing right now if the process was free, fair, and transparent. Or Aku number could be less if the process was free, fair, or transparent. Sure. But the fact that you don't know what happened, they actually play with the numbers, and they were very selective about it. 100% they play with the presidency, numbers. That I know 100%, and they know we know.
And
they were very selective in playing with the numbers when it came to senators and representatives. Guess what? Among the 15 senators that got elected, 6 of them are CDC. 6 of them are independent. 3 of them are other parties. Prince Johnson and the party for that guy from Grand Nigeria. And then how you call the other party? Only 3 parties. in the Unity Party. So all the other parties, all the other people, imagine 6 of the people elected senators are all CDC, 6 independent, 3 are other people. And most of the people that lost the election, the senators that lost the election, majority of them are Unity Party people. If you pay attention to that, the TIJ, the Communist Wise, and then 2 of them are Liberty Party, Steve Zago and Jonathan Kapie. So what I'm trying to say in short, they did this purposely. They selected certain people that they wanted them to win. Other area they care less about, they allow it to play to kind of measure their strength. There where they got caught. There where they got caught by surprise. There where Akala Grade, with disgrace. There where Buffer Chima was disgrace. Because they thought with the amount of money Buffer Chima is spending in that area, Buffer Chima will win. But there's no way CPP candidate can flog Buffer Chima in Maryland.
Yeah, and then the president
get 8,000 plus vote, and then Commission get only 1,000 plus vote in that whole country.
Yeah.
How possible is that?
It's not possible. It makes no sense. It's not logical.
Possible. Similarly, in that place, Monserrato, they knew very well out of 900,000 votes, let's say if we have about 80%, we have over 700,000 people voting. So for them to give less than 50,000 votes to CPP candidate, that was somehow unrealistic. But they're forgetting to know that giving her 50,000 votes will also create a question mark. How come Mr. Cummings can get 29,000 votes in the entire country, but CPP candidate in Monserrato get 50,000 plus vote? Does that make sense?
In this country, let me tell you something simple. Let me give you a prime example like what happened in 2020. People always like to talk about insurrection, about what happened in America. When you look at, for me, I never used to monitor election in 2016 when our firm got hired to do some kind of analysis for Michigan and Minnesota with Modis. So that's when I started following election. I started getting deep into elections, started looking at numbers and trend. In America, 2 things made people first mad in America that made people jump on the street January 6th. In America and universally, the bottom of the ticket or the lawmaker, the round, the cocktail of the president. And the people, when you vote in the House at the lower level, is a good indicator to tell you how the national election is going to end out. That's why I said, for the first time in liberal history, you cannot make trend. You cannot establish a trend. Because these guys, they play with the game so much that even a Steve Warner could just see exactly what was happening. The 2 things that got people pissed. In America, statistically, in the past 120 years, there are 19 bellwether counties in America that determine the outcome of election. And when you go and define out what they call bellwether, it's like you're trying to establish a trend. They are the one that set the foundation as to how the general election will go. Either way they vote, that's how the national outcome will be. Other than 19, you know how it ended? Donald Trump won 18 out of 19 bellwether counties. Joe Biden won 1, Calhoun County in Michigan. So the people say, you know what? We are not stupid in this country. We know that these 19 bellwether counties have accurately predicted the outcome of election in America for more than 100 years. How for the first time in history, a guy can win 1 out of 19 and ends up in the White House. Then the second data that came was there were 27 House seats that were all, we call them toss up. Toss up means the district is so competitive, you cannot tell which way it will go. But for the first time in American history, 27 toss up seats, the Republican won all. But somehow Donald Trump lose the presidency. He ended up losing the presidency. It's the same thing that we are trying to do over there. Look, the people control the process and they will determine the outcome. That's why I tell my Unity Party people, you got 2 choices to make. You can stand up and bring people themselves have to be involved. Like Steve said yesterday, you either reject this election or establish a new trend moving forward that when any time a party comes in power, they are entitled to 12 years because nobody will want to come there and do something called an easy transition of power to another party. So you either stand up now or live with a trend for the rest of your life, because that would be the new trend. Unity Party did it before. CDC feel they are entitled, and anybody coming after CDC will establish the same premise that when we take this thing, we are there for 12 years, because there is no higher authority above us that can change the election. We are the ones supervising it. We will predetermine the outcome. So it doesn't matter whether a guy like Cummings or Taiwan Congress in the race. The one that is in power will determine how the Liberian people make choices. And like you said, you cannot tell. That is why you cannot make a choice in this election as to who to pick, because you cannot even tell how the people voted. Now, if you cannot tell how the people voted, then how do we pick a side? It's 2017 all over again. We are back to 2017.
Here's the bad part about all of this. Here's the bad part in the bigger picture, that some of these people that want to get jobs, or some of the people that are comfortable with moving on from one wrong to another, that has become a problem for us as a nation. That's why the country is impacted. Don't see the bigger picture. Here's the bigger picture, folks. We have, from 2005, based on the behavior of the CDC and the Unity Party, we have returned to the days of the two-system party, or the two-we party.
The two-party system.
Yeah, the two-party system.
And this is a problem, because people gave their lives in our country for the multi-party system. And these guys who claim to wanted to have fought, quote unquote, the country boys, have gone back to the same thing because of greed and corruption. That this thing must be settled between CDC and Unity Party, CDC, to the point wherein they will give nobody else chance. They will manipulate the system. They will connive and steal from the Liberian people. Look, let me say this. This is part of the reasons. Let me tell you today. This is part of the reasons I've never supported George Weah. I don't trust him. Because if you want to do good for your people, if you care about your people, you don't become part to set them up for failure or problems in the future. That's not what you do. For President George, we had to compromise back then. Let me tell you this today. Akara Gray is now only a sacrificial lamb. You know what Akara Gray did? You know, you don't follow people. You don't listen when people talking, even when you're there with them, for you to take the one that makes sense. Akara Gray basically exposed what happened between the early Joseph Sirleaf government and the CDC government. Do you know that Akara's Gray, then were the people then that took money? They don't want you to be taking money behind closed door, and they go and push the people cheering in public to go make noise. Akara's Gray were carried to Ghana. Akara's Gray, then look, this thing is deeper than some of y'all. Y'all have no clue about it. Look, again, our country, we must stand for what is right. If we don't want our children to come and face the same thing. So these guys are brought up back into the two-system party. All that thing while you're talking. And Costa jumped the gun in front of you today. It was strategically planned.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed that press conference. There were a lot of things he said.
No, to take away from the press conference that Joseph Boakai had today. Mm-hmm. It was strategically and methodically planned. Look. Again, maybe we'll elaborate on this on another day. But, Mr. Kane, look, this thing does not make any sense. Out of all the days, Joseph Boakai, the problem is, and that's what they always do in Liberia, they try to undercut you. Costa wanted to undercut the message of Joseph Boakai today because it was announced that Joseph Boakai will be coming out today. Who announced it day long?
And he successfully did, though.
He successfully did it.
No one talking about Joseph Boakai.
No, he sucked the air out of the room.
Exactly.
Like it didn't happen.
And Mr. Kanye, there's something strange happening that people are not paying attention to. There's something strange happening that people are not paying attention to. Dillon is behaving unconventional. Dillon is acting like the same way he acted when he took money during the Dream 7 protests. You remember, I was not on the show at that time, you asked Senator Darius Dillon a question on the CSK TV. If he knows, if he saw, or if he's aware of anybody taking money, Senator Darius Dillon said he feel it, he heard it. He didn't want to go to the truth to say that, yes, that's true. Since Yeke told them that they never had tally sheet, Senator Dillon had been going from show to show, having show twice, once, doing all kind of unconventional things. Something is very fishy about the whole second round business and the whole CDC game. I want to test Senator Darius Dillon because when you work on you watch the show, or if you say now to watch the show, let me tell you straight in the camera, you my friend. We are friends. But if you know about this thing, this investigation that go on, you don't know that you'll be exposed, you'll be disgraced, bigly more than applying ticket something. So if you know what I know, if you know about it, you better start talking. And yet, I guarantee Senator Darius Dillon tonight that this will go deeper than he thinks. Because I know from his behavior that he's aware and he knows about something. But
So let me say this. We have a lot of calls here. We're going to start taking calls. But before we do, let me say this to all our followers and viewers. I said this yesterday and I maintain. I believe the entire process is fraudulent and should be rejected by the Liberian people. However, if the Liberian people accept the result as is right now, you have nothing to say but to agree with them. Because you know what? If I voted and I believe my vote is not be counted like it's supposed to, and the results being announced, they don't reflect the way we voted, especially in Maryland and Boston, where you have the two standard bearer, like the standard bearer and the vice standard bearer, where they have their people that know very well they voted for their people. And different outcomes were given. I think they could show to the world, to the National Election Commission and the Georgia government that this is not how we voted. But if they remain quiet, on it, they allow the process to go through and accept that they're going to be a second round. That means that's how they voted. And you cannot move more than a bereaved.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I can tell you that. You cannot move more than a bereaved. I believe the process is fraudulent. But people that voted, if they say, no, this is how we voted, they agree, they accept everything, I'll have to accept it. And when I accept it, I will definitely participate in the process. Because I can only reject the process. I can say, I will sit home now, participate in the process if I believe the process is fraudulent. But the people who voted, they say they're okay with it, that's how they voted, they accept everything. We have to accept everything, move on. We're not in it for ourselves. We're in it for the Liberian people. So let me take a few calls here, then we can, see what we can do about it. Hey, caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? I think this is the Brookable Power. Are you there?
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Brookable Power.
Go ahead.
Look, I'm still finding the difficult when the argument come out. I listen to my brother Steve Bole. I really love your energy that you keep putting your poison. But still, you have to talk. You have to leave the energy from there and put the reality in it. Look, you have a pool washer in the room. All over the country, you have a pool washer. And the pool washer brought result to you. What does the result tell you for the fee? And again, look, the result, the announcement the pool brought is all over the country. And you see the vote coming up from the country. Does that mean they cheated you? I mean, if you listen to Banishema, what Banishema said, he said the people, the Liberian voters, they are funny people. They want to believe in you. When you do, you're not doing, they love you.
All right.
Or what the other person there that know it to the best. I know they trust you. They not like you. They will not vote for you. It does not mean when somebody tells you I'll vote for that man and go behind the curtain and vote. Does that mean they voted for you? No. Let me serious. Me, I tell you already. Apart from weird, in the arsenal of weird, Kumi is my second. So when it comes to reality, we have to be fair only. The election, it was peaceful. Nobody even put somebody on the side of the land. They put one on land and keep on that peacefully. It's all over. So you can put one shot. If there's not any issue with it, why they can raise it up?
Broker Paul.
Yes.
Do you know who is up and down?
That's what I say to you. Do you saw an answer for again?
No, I'm just asking you. Do you know up and down?
I don't know.
That's a simple question.
All right.
I don't know. You have a pool washer. That's what I was saying to you. The pool washer can give you more results than even the National Commission because they found you send it. So you have more clue on it.
All right. No problem. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So let's go to the caller here. 701 number, last 4 digits, 7361. What is your name and where you call?
Good evening, this is Pastor Cummins, Gerald.
Pastor Cummins, Gerald, my own brother from all the way Johnson Street. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great.
We gotta go back to Liberia, man, and go do things the right way.
It's a good evening to Steve and Cyrus. Look, you just made mention of Appleton, right?
Yes, sir.
Even the late Alhaji Kroman and Cecile Gofa duo during the days of ACO performed more than Appleton in terms of canvassing, in terms of media publicity. They performed more than this Appleton. Likewise, the former finance minister now, the senator of ACO, Lucini Kamara, performed even more than Appleton when it comes to the media. But here is something that most people never caught. When we made mention of the issue of the voter roll, that the political parties need to engage the National Elections Commission as it relates to the voter roll, most of them sat down quietly. That was the first litmus test.
Yes.
They sat down quietly and let the National Elections Commission to play them. The second issue there is the Sekou. There was an interview with Benina Yuri that we conducted. In that interview, he said a lot that speaks volume. There was a guy who listened and did a nice piece on Front Page Africa. I thought most of the political parties, opposition parties, would take cue. And one time on Yeseni's show, I said, Benina Yuri and George Weah can never make palaver. But you all don't know. What you see in the media is different from what you will see in the night. So our people need to, they either wake up now to change the prevailing trajectory, or else we all will be speculating. But when I use one phrase all the time, if you know the players, you will always know the game. So the players hasn't changed. So the game will always be, you find the same players in the CPP, you'll find the same players in ACO, you'll find them in the UP, you'll find them in CDC, or once these players are controlling the narrative of publicity or media work, just know that you, Sekou, I don't care how much you pump in the system, those players will not push certain narrative. Thank you so much, my brother.
Wise men have spoken. Thank you, my brother. Thank you as always. I'd like to get a caller here. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Victor. I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Victor from Charlotte, North Carolina. Go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick point to what you guys discussing.
Go ahead.
I personally feel like what happened in the election, Mr. Comey should blame himself. I've always said this. If you can recognize my voice, you will say I've always said every time I call on the show. The reason is Mr. Cummins was the Mr. Kane, and we are always saying our Liberian politics from 2017. The guys brought Mr. Cummins to model him up and confuse him in our politics. Now, if you listen to Costa today, some of us said it down to our number that Costa in the UA and Musa Belete were the planted agents by George Weah in the CDC.
You mean the CPP? You mean the CPP on the CDC?
In the CPP.
Okay, yeah. You mistakenly said in the CDC.
Every Snow and Musa Belete. Those people, they can never move from behind Weah. They will always holler at them move from behind him, but at the end of the day, he will always use them. Now, what am I saying here is, when you listen to Costa today, Costa said Joseph Boakai made the very good political decision to choose Jeremiah Kuhn. Even though later on he got to make it sound some kind of way, but the CDC last mission was to allow Costa to go on the UP ticket with Joseph Boakai, and that is one round victory they were being celebrating right now. But because the UP was a little bit ahead of them, a little bit, I'll just say a little bit, because the game is still on. The game has not over yet. It all depends what happened with the United Party in the second round, whatever round that is about to take place. But I can tell you, the players are coming because they felt like, okay, the easiest person to deal with was, let's see UP is playing hardball, we use Mr. Cummings. And that was how they destroyed our CPP. That CPP was very close. We are going to pray. We are going to pray when the CPP is launched in 2020. They go very afraid. So the only thing they could have done was to use Benena Ure and Henry Costa on one hand, and then use Mr. Musa Benete on the other hand. Because in Nimba, when Mr. Benete won his election as chairman of the CPP, Mr. Cummings did not even get up to 3,000 votes. In a district where Mr. Benete won as chairman of the CPP. I don't want to talk about Anthony Williams, who is just a member of the CPP in Maryland, from Mr. Benete, who is the chairman. Mr. Cummings did not go up to the number of votes in Musa Benete district that he won. So those people play Mr. Cummings. The only thing here is that the CPP right now, they don't have enough evidence or proof on how this electoral process went. So to say they will boycott or whatever, I mean, I don't know the background where that is going on right now with the CPP and this first round of the election, but if the CPP have any proof that they will screw up the election, they can take the electoral body to court or do something about it. That's all I can say.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for your opinion. You know, here on SKTV, we don't censor people's opinion. We don't tell people what to say or how to say it. As long as you're not insulting anybody, your opinion, that is your entitlement, and you can express it at will. But I want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. Brazilian Monk, my question to you. You know, there are a lot of missing pieces when it comes to what went wrong with the CPP and the entire opposition political parties leading to the election. But besides, you know, we're saying based on the numbers that are not making sense to us, besides that, and besides the people that voted to come out to say, hey, this is not how we voted, we feel cheated, we will go for let's go for rerun or recount. Besides that, because the voters got the right to say that. They got the right to say that if they create civil disobedience and to create some noise, making the country to be somehow noisy, the international community would be, you know, alarmed, and the election commission will see reason to look into the, you know, into their quest. However, beside those things, do we have or do we know anything? Or if not, having anything that is admissible in a court of law, can any opposition do anything, or can you use any reliance to say, okay, because of this, you know, we don't want to participate, because of this, you know, we want to go to court, if you have nothing tangible that is admissible in a court of law? Can they do anything?
Well, It all depends how far you want to go into the rabbit hole. It will be up to the opposition leaders, and like most important, the Liberian people will be the one to be the ultimate decider in these elections. They have a choice. But like I said, from the beginning, that is why you cannot take a side based on the outcome, because you cannot even tell how the people voted. So what happened if we're to go do, let's say, a forensic investigation, and it turns out that Mr. Cummings overperformed and he was a legitimate tier contender in this election? So will you blame Liberian people on how they vote? You cannot. For me, I don't like to go back to pre-CPP days, because we have passed that stage. That thing been done and dusted away. I always told people, the person who told Mr. Cummings to be part of the CPP, I don't know who came up with that decision, because at the end of the day, at the end of the process, when we will look back to do any electoral autopsy, that's where the problem will come from. That you come out to say you are clean hands, you came up with a particular brand that people were buying into, only to go and find yourself in another group with a bunch of old criminals. So it like you all cut your own message. So you are going to pay a political price for that. We have gone past that stage. My thing here is, what is the way forward? And what seeds are you planting for the future? Because now this is going to be the new trend. If CDC takes power for another 6 years, okay, yeah, it's 6 years, but 6 years won't be the end of the war. There will be a government after CDC. The way Madam Sally came in 2005, and today she's history. There will be a day Georgia himself will be history. But the question is, what seeds are you planting for the future? Because if you stick with the premise now that when you come to power, you are the highest decision-making body in the land, you got more power than anyone else, so you feel entitled to a 12-year. Now, anyone coming after Georgia will do exactly the same. If our people knew better, CDC, like I said, they are a bunch of criminals. They always thinking the fun. You see, one thing people don't understand, they are different levels of intelligence. They get academic intelligence, they get artistic intelligence, they got street intelligence. These guys are criminals. They always throw a red meat to Unity Party, giving them hope that this thing is a competition. And Unity Party always buy into the illusion that we'll get to second round. There is a probability or possibility that we can beat a CDC. And that would never happen, like I always told you. And it's the game that they keep playing. Now, if we go into a round number 2, even though Unity Party believe that the process is rigged and it's fraudulent, but if they choose to participate, they honor court Mr. Cummings making a fight. Because the court will say, but my brother, you are not even in the top 2. You were not giving even access to tally sheet, because that's how the election laws are structured. Maybe the top 2 or the top 3 get a tally sheet. So you didn't even come close anywhere to receive a tally sheet. So how come the people who found themselves in number 2 spot believe that the election is fair? Because when you participate, it means you validate the election. How can it be going to a round number 2 and you making the case that the election was fraudulent? Then you honor Mr. Cummings' whole message about putting up a challenge against the election commission or against the elections itself. Then that's it. Unity Party will go, believing that they can.
So that means there's no outlet, there's no way out.
There's no way out. Except Liberian people come and say we reject this election and we're not participating.
And if they refuse to come out and do that, that means we have to believe the process, correct?
Yes. If Unity Party goes to round number 2, then the election is validated. Then Cummings doesn't have an argument.
Yeah. So that means everybody will just make their decision based on their own.
Make your decision and live with the outcome. That's it. Nothing else you can do.
Go ahead, my brother.
So most times, I like to come from a point of looking at it from the beginning, or talking about the end before I come to the beginning.
Just 1 second. First, those of you who are online here, those of you who already accepted your calls, you are in the queue. Please, hold tight. After Steve, and then we'll take everybody in the order we receive them.
So let me be as brief as possible.
Sure.
You and I never sat and talked about my plans to support Mr. Cummings if he decides to run.
I was just shocked. I was just surprised to hear from you.
That is not a decision I ran by you. That's a decision I pondered on. I agree with Monk that the problem for the seat for Mr. Cummings started when he joined the CPP. However, for Mr. Cummings to be president of Liberia and to change the trajectory of what we have is for the work to start now. Let me say it again. It's for the work to start now. Because the situation we are in, unfortunately, both the Unity Party and the CDC connive to get us right here. And that's where we are. Unfortunately. And that's why I've always said, and I'm unapologetic about it, and there is no way I would take it back. I feel proud. I feel vindicated by the fact that I said from day one, CDC is not good for Liberia. Unity Party is not good for Liberia. I also feel so proud that from day one, I don't care if you see me as disrespectful, rude, and arrogant, and I see people saying sometimes, oh, and you emotional, you this, you that. And listen, Joseph Boaka is a crook. He can be 1,000 years old. I don't care about your age. When you owe and you're a crook, I will say you're a crook. You're a criminal, I will say you're a criminal. You're a liar, I'll say you're a liar. You're deceptive, I will say you're deceptive. I don't care your age. I don't do that stupid thing. I'm not part of it. But yes, where this Mr. Cummings or the CPP can come from out of this. They got to get to the drawing board. They got to start the work now. They have to. This is just the fact of the matter. They have to. They have the perfect opportunity to win the hearts of the Liberian people. If not, Mr. Cummings has made some huge impact. Whether you like it or not, he cannot give up on this. He has to do what he has to do as long as he has strength in his body. There are a lot of people that are disappointed that would be able to stand up with Mr. Cummings. Let me tell you something. The disappointment of those who will not vote in the second round are the people. Look, I'm saying it here today. If you want to say I'm inciting, if the Liberian people willing to stand up tomorrow to the CDC-led government, the United Party-led government against the conspiracy, the international community will stand with them. I'm saying that. And I encourage them to do that. I do. I will encourage them to do that until the whole election process is over. You can do it anytime, any day. And you can do it simultaneously in different counties, in different places, in different areas. You can do it. I'm not inciting nobody. What I'm saying is it's part of your constitutional right. So Mr. Kane, the CDC, the CPP, Mr. Cummings, and the rest of the people, in fact, let me let you all know now, this particular thing plays right into what the people wanted. That statement that Costa made, that Jeremiah Kuhn was the right pick. You leave all that in your scene, Costa and Jeremiah Kuhn, and they on the scene now.
Anyway, let's take some calls here.
Right, it's up to them.
Yeah, let's take some calls here. Call of 763 number, last 4 DJ 4884. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is McDonald. I'm calling for Minnesota.
McDonald Flomo Nyakwe, correct?
Yeah, McDonald Flomo Nyakwe. I called to contribute to the show. Your guy came Monga, he said that according to him, Mr. Cummings cannot serve because he don't know how the Liberian people voted. There are complete contradictions. According to Mr. Cummings, the election was rigged. It was not free and fair. If I were Mr. Cummings, I went to an election and I've been treated by the ruling establishment, I'll go with the other party to remove those guys from there. I would not say I'm not taking a side because I don't know how the election went. Okay? He knew to take a side. Anyway, he's noted for that because 2017 he didn't take no side. Okay?
He's another Unity Party mix.
Hello? I don't even think you wrong 2029 because according to the election law, you have to get more than 2% when you contest in the next election. You got less than 2%.
Oh, so that was done purposely to prevent him from running in 2029?
You
Yeah.
cannot blame Unity Party for that.
No, I'm not saying Unity Party. I'm not blaming any party. I'm telling you now, from what you're saying, it means that Mr. Cummings was given that number in order to prevent him from running in 2029.
But he wanted to pick a side state. See the contradiction?
Mr. Kane, let me ask that question. Let me ask you one question. Mr. Kane, let me ask you a question, please. So you're trying to say Abeton qualified to run in the election because he had more than 2%?
My brother, is a beating award.
No, but answer my question. Answer my question. No. I'll ask you a direct question. Did Abeton have 2% and above to contest in the election?
According to our election rules in Liberia, when you get more than 2%, you can contest the next election.
Okay. Do you know when Abadan was told he was going to run in the election? Do you know when they qualified Abadan to run in the election?
Trust me. What you guys are saying, Dan, I agree with you guys. After me, the country was cheated.
No, you not agree. I don't agree.
Oh no, he believed Mr. Comey was cheated, but he still wanted to take side, even though.
I know you were cheated. Let me say.
Oh, you know you were cheated, but you know you were cheated, but then why are you going through the election process? Electoral process, you know somebody was cheated. So how sure are you? How sure are you will not be cheated as well?
Yeah.
We went to election, and the rule started. I was cheated by them. I'm going to join the other four to get them out. That's what I'm saying.
How do you join the
If the other four are credible, if you can trust them, yes, of course, that's what you would do. But if the other four, you know.
So
I told you that one of the
Mr. Kenya, they having a caller here, but the person been on hold for a long time.
yeah, you know.
All right, Mr. Nyako, thank you though. You still have something to say? I don't want to cut you off.
I don't want to tell you guys that they tell me second round, if there will be second round, trust me, John Will will be big time getting you.
Okay.
Put it in the bank.
Okay. My man, don't be talking about that bank. No, easy. I can't go keep talking about the bank. He instead go to the bank.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
I should bring
Yeah, so I have another caller, but when you finish with that other person, then we'll take the call.
Yeah, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
Hey, this is Lofa Steve. Thanks for checking
my man, he's very low.
My man, post
That's over energy in his voice, man.
If I were here, I say your voice looking at you fully there, you know you're on radio.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, bro.
Okay, all right, good. All right. Thanks again, like I said, thanks for accepting my invitation. But here's my thing, though. I would have just sat on the phone and listened, right, to everything that is being said, and don't have to contribute tonight, with the exception of the caller who just got off the line. I was enjoying the entire conversation, just listening to you guys. Then this caller finally called and just put the icing on the cake for everything I want to say. By the way, you were absolutely correct when you said the typical Unity Party partisan with that antique way of thinking, that deceptive nature of doing everything, and claiming that they can suggest or subject people to what they're supposed to do. How in the world can this dude come on here and say, if Mr. Comey don't endorse the commander-in-chief, Joseph Boakai, then he is not patriotic. That is the mindset. This is the man who supported Henry Costa. This is the man who walked with, celebrated, and did everything with Henry Costa. But when Henry Costa exposed their bad behaviors, their deception, and everything else, now, all of a sudden, he's not in Henry Costa's camp no more. He's not in the boat with Henry Costa. You see how deceptive Liberians are? These are the kind of people who will tell you, oh, we want change in Liberia. But because an innocent man came to the game and thought to remain clean, the like of the individual who just got off the phone felt like he should not be tolerated because they did not see reason to accept change in Liberia. And these are the people who wants to give us an honorable Boakai to serve as a president. This is a man. That's why I continue to say to Liberians, Joseph Boakai, George Weah is 5 and 6. The only difference between the both of them is age. Joseph Boakai is 6, George Weah is 5. And the difference is that one which makes Honorable Boakai older. You know that Joseph Boakai, Henry Costa's revelation, got speech for him, his own son. Who got speech from their own son?
But I told you last night, I said Joseph Boakai can gossip, George Weah can gossip. Yeah, I told you.
Thank you.
That two gossip us, man.
I don't know why I said that, and that's one thing, that's one problem. That was that was part of the reason I called tonight. Why it is true that I am not here to dictate with the platform as to what to discuss. I think that podcast should have been emphasized on for today's discussion, because these are things that we highlighted and we were insulted.
Yep.
Days upon days, we were called envious. We were called all sorts of names. Today, we have been vindicated. The truth has been revealed to all, because when we said these things, that all of these things were just made up. People said, "Oh, you guys are afraid of him because that you love our Julius. When you come live, you want to get 3 people who follow you. You want to get this." The mindset, and this is the same thing this guy is again going on here with talking about. It does that, or excuse me, Mr. Cummins does not endorse the candidacy of Joseph Boycott. That means, oh, you know what? He's not patriotic, and in fact, he cannot run for the next election. Guess what? If Joseph Boycott doesn't win this election, which I know for a fact, based on information in my possession, I could bet anybody Joseph Boycott is not going to win this election. And if he doesn't win this election, I hope H is to his favor, that he will come back in 2029 to contest, and you, as the supporter, can still go and push him based on tribal line, not based on what he can do to transform Liberia, but based on tribalism, or based on that idea, that antique idea of what you think is in your best interest and not that of the nation. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Let me go back in my little corner and continue to follow. But this nonsense about individuals having to feel like they own Liberia, like that of the Unity Party, their arrogance, okay, the ego that they continue to run around with, it is right at the door. They are soon to smell the wrath of the Liberian people, because again, the people will stand up, and they will not be standing up because they believe that they are resolved. Like they insulted the intelligence of Liberians. So assume that the people are resolved.
Thank you,
So making one decision, that in itself is at some level of insult, something I have highlighted time without number. Insulting to tell the people they are resolved. What are they? Are they animals that you can train to think one way? Or they are humans that are open-minded and they are available to change it.
Thank you.
The views on things. Thanks, brother. I'll stay and continue to follow, man.
Thank you.
All right, bro. Thank you so much.
You're in our two gossip on there.
Hold on.
You're like gossip on. You're in our.
Hold on.
You don't see your life.
Caller, what is your name? Where you calling from? 214 number. Last 4 digits 6315.
Gossip on there.
My name is Bonnie Sadiq. I'm calling from Dallas, Texas.
Your name is Vani Salif, you say?
Yeah.
Bonnie Sadiq, calling from Dallas, Texas.
All right, go ahead.
You know, there's a saying that to predict future performance, you have to actually look at past performance to predict future performance. So, Liberian people should understand that the politician in Liberia for one fight would not improve their lives, because they know that that's how they stay in power, by having uneducated people that can make rational decisions to get themselves out of oppression by the foolish media that is broadcasting the wrong information to them out on the streets. The Liberian people at this time should understand that if Joseph Boycott didn't get it done with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Joseph Boycott cannot get it done by himself. If George Weah didn't change their life in the last 6 years, George Weah will not change their life in the next 6 years. The Liberian people have listened to people like Heron Costa and other people that shouldn't be listened to in the airways when it comes to politics or whatever in Liberia, because they have nothing to show that outside of politics they can change their own life or change other people's lives. Liberian people should be smart enough to look at somebody that has changed their life based on their own output in life, the hard work, the smart ideas, someone that doesn't need Liberian government money to live a better life. We say it all the time. Most Liberians do not get sense until they cross the Atlantic Ocean. Liberian people stay electing people like, what do you name, the former
Alex Tyler?
Speaker, this former Speaker of the House.
Alex Tyler.
Alex Tyler back into politics in Liberia. It's a sad thing.
My brother, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Me, I still believe the Liberian people, they didn't vote for some of those people. They were selected. I think this was selection process. There were people that were selected. There were people that were voted for. I can tell you, the Liberian.
Well, we understand.
Yeah. So I don't trust the process. So I'm not going to fault the Liberian people for anything right now because I don't believe that they were the one that made these decisions.
Well, but at the end of the day, the Liberian people should come up and speak for their rights.
True.
Okay? If they are charged with that, they should come out and speak for their rights.
Yeah, I agree.
Know the truth. If all these people that say they voted for Cummings and Cummings didn't get the 2%, let them get on the street and parade in every city, showing to Liberia that they voted for Cummings. Let them find a day and get on the street and say, we voted for Cummings.
Yeah, I said that yesterday.
Yeah, we've been saying that. I mean, anything short of that, that means that this is how they vote. This is the way they voted.
Let them come. Let them put their hands up. Let them call up Cummings to form the parades on the street so they can put their hands up and say, we voted for Cummings. We didn't vote for anybody else. To prove to the world that there was a fraudulent in this election. We don't have any evidence. Now, let me address the other brother that left before Julius came on. You know, those are the kind of people that would be in a cycle for a long time. And Liberia, they will see Liberia the way it is, and they'll never see a better Liberia if they don't change their minds. And they don't work, the cheering will not see a better Liberia if they don't change their mind, because that same narrative will go on. You're talking about Cummings should actually take sides. Whose side would Cummings take? Joseph Walker was the guy that was afraid of going to a concession with Cummings for the CPP and decided to use Karen Costa and Bernard Ure to take him to court. It was the same people that went fraudulently to go and lie on Cummings in the courthouse and use that information. Use stupid men like here, sorry for my language, you let Costa your show.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Use a man like Karen Costa to use foolish airways to broadcast that around calling men like Cummings all kinds of things. Right? Then today, you're telling the Liberian, Cummings should take side after Joseph Walker have openly took his finger in Cummings' eyes to go there and actually denounce Cummings in the courthouse that he didn't know Cummings. Matter of fact, he never had interaction with Cummings, following Ure. And it's the same man that you see Ure that Joseph Walker Pepe. Not too long ago, that Ure was on the radio crying, talking about he won't say that. So, and now he coming back to say that Cummings should take side with Joseph Walker. But anyway, if it's not in your favor, they don't cry wolf. If it's in the favor, that's when they come asking for favor. And we all know the way to behave. It's like today. You know, your friend call you 1 or 2 times, you tell him, my man, I ain't got money. You call him 3 times, you get him money, and you're afraid he will not call you no more until you get him something. I don't know friendship looking. So we understand all that thing. Understand it.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. We got to leave it there. Thank you so much.
I just want to call you. We're talking about Apiton, right? Let me tell you one thing about
Yeah, I want you to be brief now, please. I got a lot of callers.
Yeah, I'm a personal friend of Apiton.
Okay.
Apiton used to live in Houston. He worked at a Wells Fargo Bank in Houston. Apiton was the former chairman for the ANC Texas chapter after Hoffman left the position. Apiton became the chairman when Hoffman became the national chairman for ANC. Apiton became the chairman for the Texas chapter. So Apiton and myself got pictures at the ANC when Cummings came to Texas, when he joined ANC for the first time with me, Hoffman, Roseland, Monkai, and Finney. All of us, he joined it right in front of us. We were the first member of the ANC in Texas. We started the whole thing here. So I know Apiton personally. Apiton called me. Apiton ran his whole campaign on less than $5,000 United States dollars. Every day, he even had office to run a campaign. Apiton, my man. So all these things you see, Appeton, well planned, his vice president name is Alex C. People may have mistaken that for Alex Comey. I don't know. I'm just saying if I was voting for him, I don't know if that's what happened. But at the end of the day, Liberian people, this second round, you're looking at Boakai, you're looking at Wea, you're looking at the good and the ugly. You make your decision. Take Comey's out of it. If you really want to be on Comey's side, get in the street, put your hands up, tell the Liberian people we voted for Comey and the cheated Comey's. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow. Well, that was a very long expose, but was very loaded as well. Let me take this call over here. So yes, caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? 484 number, last 4 digit 2182.
Hi, Sekou. This is Comfort Abu calling from Pennsylvania.
Comfort Abu from Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
So, Sekou, I see United Party people are celebrating, they're going for runoffs, they're going for this. As far as they are concerned, they have done the unimaginable. That they are going for runoff in December. Anyway, they're wanting to. Everything that CDC is doing, the hierarchy of the United Party, they are aware of it. Don't bring them. The people that that are down there do not know anything, but the big people there, they know everything that is going on. Listen, they will flock the United Party. This one is small. The big thing are coming for them. It will be so disgraceful. So they did it, everything that they did it to put Mr. Cummings PO, the 1%, so the next election he cannot take part, so they will have nobody that will compete with him. But Mr. Cummings is somebody, he's like a turtle. The turtle lives long. The lion is wild, and so they don't live long. But he's taking his time, he's going through the court process. You know, Mr. Cummings, when he tell you there will be consequences, there will be consequences. Somebody or one group will pay the price. So United Party team is celebrating. The election is over. CDC has finished messy everything. They know it. Akara's going there will get job. Bo Ali there will get job. Ruto Tape there finish getting their one. So it's just a formality. Maybe they didn't want to put any confusion to put a gas in the street because they are going to be so instability or interim government and all of them have got 6 years to run to be senators and so they will lose their position and when they just get the water stamp. But the next one that coming in will be was read the show. You know, everybody saying on a rack, but the people are coming for United Party, they won't feel it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's take the next caller here. 443 number, last 4 digit 3128. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Stop listening to your monitor. Please listen to your phone. I'm getting the feedback.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. What is your name and where are you calling from?
This is Shafa Kamara calling from Pennsylvania.
Shafa Kamara from Pennsylvania. How are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm okay. Sekou, I've been listening to you and Steve since the election started, and I'm really concerned about the issue of ranking or cheating. We want to see facts. That is something tangible of to see that Cummings was cheated. Because if he keeps saying that he was cheated, we don't see anything. And we just only half have to say, yeah, this was so many mistakes. And he was cheated in the election. Because if we keep saying this, we're trying to divide the country more and more. Yeah, I don't know if you can help me, Steve, to really help me tonight to say yes. The election was not free and fair.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Brazilian Monk.
Yes.
The man want you to tell him if at all the election was not free and fair.
Well, there will be more evidences that will be coming out, but just from the numbers, when you go to an election, the very first indicator of a regulation is the outcome in the numbers itself. Like I said, there are 3 things you look for in an election. The first thing, you go to historical data. The next thing, you look at the trend before you can start making any projection. And just from common sense, you don't need to have a bachelor's or master's degrees in analytics or data science. It's just common sense that these numbers, they don't look right and they don't seem right. You cannot make a trend out of them. You cannot make sense out of them. So automatically it's rigged. You know, one thing while looking at the numbers coming in from day 1 to day 6, It's like somebody, it's like say you came to the pump and you wanted a certain quantity of water, and how they want controlling the faucet. It's like I said, the process and the outcome. You want the water, I control the faucet. I can determine the quantity of the water that you will receive because I control the faucet. That's just why it's happening in this election. The only reason that these guys never pulled out a first round victory because they are looking at the popular reaction and the sentiment. Georgia believed that he's performing so bad that Labrin people are going to vote for him overwhelmingly. We understood the fact that Georgia should have been obliterated in this election for everything that had been happening. So they couldn't have put a one-round victory. It was so fishy and obvious because they cannot say, okay, how can we be expected to lose an election only to come and win in the first round? And matter of fact, if we go back to the past 3 elections, nobody was even able to win in the first round. That's the only reason they are allowing to go to round number 2. But like I said, this system is already set up in a way that there can only be one outcome. It's a Georgia win. The only difference is they are only kicking the can down the road because when they make it a little tight in the first round, then it increases the possibility that the average Labron will say, but you know what? Georgia did well in first round, so when he went in round number 2, we were expecting that. That's the only reason that taking this into a round number 2. That's it.
Yeah, so let me take another caller. We'll soon be leaving. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Joshua. I'm calling you from Timona, Iowa.
Joshua, what's your last name, my brother?
I'm good. The election results, I think it's horrible.
Is what?
It's horrible.
Okay.
I really didn't expect it to go the way it went, especially the result Mr. Cummings got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I expected him to get more than that. In regard to the cheating, citizens want to cheat and they did some cheating, but they do not control the system to effect the cheating they wanted to do. Most of the staff that work with NET, NEC, most of them are United Party people. So that was CTC couldn't penetrate to accomplish their aim. So most of the things that went on were done on the field, like field presiding and prison officer. And they have 1 or 2 person at NET center, the talent center. But to be able to cheat completely to get the result they want, that means they got to change over 10 to 15% from NET office, which is not possible. Even the director, she want to cheat. She want to cheat to benefit CDC, but she cannot do it totally because most of the guys she rely on to get the work done, they are all United Partisan. So it's very, very difficult. So if anybody think that the second run CDC will have the need to cheat completely, it's difficult. Because even the federal magistrate, like in those counties, they may pretend to be like they are supporting CDC, but most of them were appointed by elite time. They are loyal to the United Party. So I see it to be a tough round. Even if you look at CDC, they wanted to change one other guy at the talent center, but they never had evidence to change him because he was the main guy that stopped CDC changing the result at the talent center. So even when they went to raid the talent center, they got blew the airline and gave the secret to United Partisan, and United Partisan sent people there to prevent the cheating from going on. So if anyone think that CDC have full control to cheat at NET center, it's not possible.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Segu.
So, yes, as we always said, SKTV, we allow everybody to add their opinion at will with no way of we telling you what to say or how to say it. The only thing we will do will not allow people to, say certain things or express certain words on SKTV. But yes, indeed, it was nice being here. Bridget and Monk, man, what are your final talks, my man? We gotta get out of here.
My final thought is the Liberian people, it's up to you, the boys in your coat. This is democracy, is the people's will. It's what the international community and everybody around the world will be looking at. It's your choice. Everything in life, we are the sum total of the choices that we make in life. Everything in life comes down to your own decision. you could choose to do something different and set a new precedent in this country that you won't be abused, or you can sit back home and let this guy to run roughshod over you, and you will live in it for the next 6 years or for the foreseeable years to come. Like the second to the last caller just said, if the people who supported ANC, or the CPP, it's up to you. You could choose a day and come and show the Liberian people that, you know what, this thing is not fair and will not take the days our way of expressing our frustration. Or you could let it slide, non-unity party. The last caller just made a point. There can be people, or there might be people in the system that will fit what unity party, but the entire structure, my brother, is controlled by the ruling party. They are the ones supervising this election. You will get 1 or 2 instances in 1 or 2 polling places or precinct, but nationwide, the main players that control the fundamentals in this election, they are the ruling party. So I'm not going to buy into that. But like I said, it's up to the Liberian people. The people that follow Costa, he said one thing today. I like, Costa actually came today to tell Liberian people who is supporting indirectly. That certain statement he made. One of the lines he used was, most Liberian wants we are to stay in power than Joseph Boaga being president.
Yeah, he said.
And then despite the fact, you see, the people who claim to be educated, they always mislead the one because they believe every decision that is made in Liberia, the first thing they take into consideration that the vast majority of the people are not inclined enough to make better decisions so they can override them. That's what he did today. He's telling you that the election was free, fair, and credible. And there are more Liberians that want we are to remain in power than Joseph Boaga being president. So he's literally telling you that I'm coming to complete the work. I'm coming to do the final damage, but I already picked my side. That's why I went to the CPP to help destroy it, because we had a grand agenda, and I'm coming to do the finishing touches.
But Brazilian, I have one final caller. But before I take that caller, let me ask you though. You think Costa prematurely showing his position, that being the CDC in this case, you think that will help or hurt the CDC? Because there will be a lot of people that may be thinking of supporting or somehow going with the CDC in the second round, but with Costa, Costa created a lot of enemies for himself.
Oh yeah.
So do you think Costa identifying with the CDC will be an aspect will be somehow?
Well, that's why I said those guys always make the bet looking at the people and how the vast majority of our people make decisions. Our people are too emotional. In most instances, they cannot think past their feelings. That's just what happened in Liberia. When Joseph Boaga was with Costa, even though they understood that Costa is not a good character, but the so-called educated won't stay the correlates around Costa because he was on their side. So there will also be a cascading effect if Costa goes on the other side. The people who believe in him that cannot think past their feeling, they will also go on the side that he will go. That's just why it is. And that's what we said from the beginning. If you want this thing to be okay, choose someone outside of the Unity Party or CDC, because they are the same players. Whether it's Jeremiah Kuhn, whether it's Costa, whether it's Prince Johnson, it's the same very player you see switching between these two parties. So you're not going to get anything better. The only difference is...
So my question to you now...
Yes.
Costa identifying with the CDC, is that going to hurt or help the CDC? Is Costa a liability or an asset?
Costa will always be an asset because of people decision-making process. That's just why it is. The people who are talking with Unity Party, when Costa come on Unity Party side, they will forget everything that he did in the past and they will support him. I told you before, there was some point in time that it was almost like Costa running for president or Joseph Boaga. It's like he was the de facto leader of the Unity Party. And people who claim to know better stood there and allowed that to happen. So if Costa was an asset, CDC won't be chasing him to be doing that propaganda work. They know he's an asset that people will use their emotions.
So are they cognizant? Are they actually care about what he takes away from them? There'll be a lot of people who, Costa himself said he has created a lot of enemies.
Oh, he will.
That will not want to see themselves in the same boat with Costa. There are a lot of people with that mindset.
Second, in politics, there is always a downside to every decision you make. They are positive and negative. The only thing is you calculate what will be the greater outcome over the other. Like people say, oh, y'all the same people that will say, if Kwame wasn't going to join the CPP, he was going to be serving my sister. Every time you make a decision in politics, there is a price to pay. The only question you ask yourself is, What will be the profit as compared to the price I'm willing to pay? That's just it. So whether Costa go to the CPP, to the CDC, or he goes to the Unity Party, there will always be people who won't support him, but equally so, the vast majority of them that believe in him will go to the side that he will go, irrespective of his past decision or his action. That's just how Liberian people operate. They do things emotionally than logically. The vast majority. Maybe there will be few will say, you know what? I'm standing on principle. This guy cannot be credible. I'm not going his way. But 8 out of every 10 will still follow Costa no matter where he goes. That's just how people operate. But thanks for the time.
You mean Costa's supporters, right?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Let me take this guy coming back. Maybe we're coming back to correct some stuff. We'll take him the last caller, then we'll call it a night. McDonald Nyanko, you are back. Quickly, my brother.
Thank you for having me by, my brother. Thanks so much. Let me address the Costa issue before going to some comments I want to make. The best thing my brother Costa can do, the best he can do for himself right now, he either keep quiet and be neutral as he has been neutral, or he go.
Oh, you think Costa be neutral?
According to the debate.
Okay.
The next thing he has kept quiet for the while now. Okay, according to him. Okay. That being said, let's come back to Lofa Juniors. The last time I called on Lofa Juniors show, I told him he cannot convince one president in his village to vote for Peter Collins.
Why you say that?
Because he don't know how to convince people. You see, for me, I made business. I went to vote. I went to register. I went to vote. I came a voting candidate. Okay? He came on one vote, which is good.
But it's possible that Lofa can stay here and convince more people than you that went to Liberia.
I'm telling you, Lofa, because of Lofa, Mamelo, who works very hard, Lofa, all the show you make, how many percent they make up? 1%. Mamega 43%.
So you believe in the numbers? You believe in the result? The election was fair, free, and fair, transparent.
Let look at the result.
We don't know how the people voted. Maybe that number will give it to you guys, for free. You didn't work for it.
I'm saying that when you compare, it not be very fair.
All right. Let's forget about personality contest. Let me ask you: do you think the election process was free, fair, and transparent?
My brother, Jeremy won an election.
Oh, Jeremy won the election. How can Jeremy is not pronounced president? Oh, they cheated you guys, but they didn't cheat. They didn't cheat. They didn't cheat other people.
I'm not saying cheated. I'm not saying you not cheated.
But you just gave Comey's number. You just gave Comey's number. You believe that's what Comey's get.
I'm talking about JNB who was cheated. They cheated us.
I like you, my brother. Thank you so much.
That's why you see over there, Sekou. That's what we keep talking about. That's why we end up.
Hey, breakable power, baby. We leave it now. Why you guys calling back? I gotta go. Hello?
My man, I beg you. I not discuss social things stuff. So I want to discuss social stuff.
Yeah, but we only got 1 minute now. We gotta go home. We gotta go sleep. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute.
No, my brother just said with coastal goals. They'll be like people go against him and they were not supposed to listen. Even Costa stay away. Those people that feel like they were not supposed to listen, Even you go to United Party, those people that don't want to vote United Party, will not vote United Party. And look, let me tell you something. The vote Costa get, will you mind? Those people that like some of other 18 that will not even want to say yeah voice. Do you know when Costa talking a man voice like a sugar? That's not happening. When you're against us, when you're talking, a voice can like there's a better water coming up. But when a man look, Costa not all people. Even yourself that if you have my member say John ANC, all what Costa did, you will not forget everything. The state you never coming at it. The reason is not going against him because they're against him. If they Costa go against, go with them. You see, they start saying for him. Costa got voice in our country, no matter what you take. I don't like it. I'm not even supporting at all. But he got voice.
Yeah, but Costa got voice. How come Costa is not represented today? How come Costa party is not going anywhere? No. I'm asking you now. If Costa got voice, if Costa is that popular and you guys put him, How can Costa is not represented today? How can Costa is not senator? How can Costa's party is going nowhere?
That's a two-way street. I just said to you.
So how is the voice important? If the voice cannot you any fruit?
They got people that advocate. They got people that people love. Advocate and loving is different.
Okay.
The man people believe in the voice. And people listen to the voice.
Okay. But they don't believe in himself, right? But how can the people believe in the man's voice? The man's tell a party that he's supporting. How can that party is not going anywhere?
This color is interesting.
Listen, you said no Costa. Do you saw how many people are watching Costa today? You saw how many people watching?
Okay. Let me come to that one. Let me come to that one.
Well, that's the point Seko's making.
Some of you Liberian people, let me say this to you today. You know, when those who started calling us, we envy Costa, we jealous Costa. When I call them peanut brain and call them beheaded chickens, that's the reason. Even some people in the Liberian media, I saw some of them yesterday, writing, oh, give it to Costa, whether you like it or not, give it to Costa. They make him on the show. Before you look on the 5 minute, they got 6,000 views. Let me tell you something. Many people are not sophisticated when it comes to technology. You see me sitting right here? If I want to put 10,000 people right here on the screen right now, listen, my man, listen, I can do it in a split second. Costa, we've been following Costa from time to time. That number you can see when Baka is on the show in Liberia, on the Costa show. That's Costa's number right there. When Costa comes on, the Costa show, not just a Baka, I'm talking about the Peking Baka Kamara.
I know.
When it's on, that's Costa's number right there. When Costa can additional maybe 200, 300 will be added to it. Costa, my man, you gotta listen to me, man. I know what I'm talking about more than you.
Okay.
So when Costa is coming on for 30 minutes, he can buy 2,000 votes. 2,000 views. He can buy 3,000 views. When by the time that 30 minutes is about to close, Costa will leave. When Costa buy 5,000 views, 4,000 views for 1 hour, it will go less than 1 hour on his show and he will close it. So you people should stop being carried away by the number of people that will show on the screen. It's just stupid. Anybody can do that. Those things are nothing. And if those things could project popularity, but now Costa's party will be first in the first or second round. But now Costa will have been, a representative. You know very well when Costa went to Liberia. Before Costa went to Liberia, when Costa say, I'm coming on. Oh, when we reach 1,000, I will talk. When we reach 10,000, I will talk. When we reach 5,000, the people will show up. When Costa said, tomorrow I'm going to go to the immigration, I need 1,000 people there. You know how many people went there? 14 people and 13 people. So all those things that we're talking about, when you're talking about Costa, you think and talk about Costa, and I will believe you 100%. Number one, Costa get loud mouth. Number two, Costa let us speak BB terminologies. That's true. Number three, Costa knows the Liberian people. He knows them. He knows that they got more stupid people that follow him, that believe in him, than intelligent people. And Costa knows that among the people that follow him, that believe in him, he's smarter than 85% of them. So he plays with them. He feels like he knows better than them, so he used them. Costa, you remember Costa say, anybody I support, hey, will support the person? Yay. How many people? Yeah. So now Costa will even come on the show drunk. When his thoughts are not even coherent, but you see some stupid people there, they will still be clapping. And so I'm just telling you, they got more stupid people that follow him, that believe in him, than are intelligent people. But even those people that follow him, that believe in him, when it comes to Costa, when they say Costa should be vice president for Joseph Boakai, you know what happened? They all get crazy. They all go amok. They'll be like, oh, no. Because you know what? They know he's not trustworthy. They know he lies. They know he is a blackmailer. They know he won't worry about what he gets for that day. He doesn't care about anything that has to do with Liberia. Intelligent people knows that. But they got a lot of stupid people that follow him, that believe in him. But they were not supporting him for anything.
Second consideration information that the party that the men going against, the people like Laura Party, if it's going against the party, do you know people are not like the party that are many?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that because you people believe the number that you know the party you go to with you guys. So you can't say that a lot of people don't like build the party. If you know the party is in the second round with you guys, out of 2 million votes, a few thousand votes separated with Unity Party. You can't speak anything about Unity Party now. You can't say that they, people don't like that.
Look, you don't even know Costa. Don't even know Costa. Costa Mob. A lot of people, even yourself, believe in Costa Mob. You listen to Costa.
Yeah, he got mob, but a mob doesn't move me. I know he got sharp mob, but he doesn't move me because I don't even believe anything he says.
Example me for a mob. They say what? They make more stuff in the country. They make look. The Costa make Kumi do not get no vote. If you looking at.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
That's not true.
You know what made Kumi didn't get a vote? Because cheating. Because Kumi's vote was not reported. Yes. All right. I mean, I gotta let you go.
Yeah, we don't have time for this.
Yeah, we don't have time for this.
You're not gonna win this.
I gotta let you go. Yeah, we can you imagine?
Yeah.
Costa move Kumi not get a vote. Costa more didn't make Kumi to. Costa destroy the CPP by taking the weak-minded Boakai, and weak-minded and fraudulent Ure from the CPP to destroy the fabrics, the system.
Because they were all auditioning for the second
they were
slot.
all in the same boat.
That's just where it was.
So they say Costa vote. Costa more did nothing to Commies. In fact, Costa even added support to Commies. A lot of people get angry with Costa and supported Commies. But Commies vote went down because Commies vote was not counted.
Yeah.
People who are responsible to count the vote, who are responsible to manage and carry on the election, they are fraudulent people. They did not count Commies numbers. So whatever happened to Commies has nothing to do with Costa. This time around, you cannot fault the Liberian people for not voting for Commies because we don't even know how they voted because their vote is not reflected in the result. So that had nothing to do with Costa. I see Costa as a liability on any camp.
Yeah.
Because why? And Costa was now with Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai got what he got. Costa did not campaign for George Weah. He got what he got, right? Because the way they fixed the system. At this point, if George Weah and people they really believe that they want to go for the second round and they're going to rely on people's vote, they shouldn't put Costa in the vanguard of their campaign. They'll be losing.
No, but understand, Sekou, they never brought him on board because he's going to bring them vote. They may only understand one order of operation, that is subtraction. But they bring him to carry on damage control to destroy. They don't bring him to add up. He can take vote away from you, but he's not going to give you vote by reason of himself.
Yeah, but at this point, I can tell you, Brazilian Mo, at this point, Costa will not take one vote from Joseph Boakai. Because why?
I don't
those people, let me tell you something, those people who wanted to vote for Joseph Boakai, even Costa said Joseph Boakai kill somebody, they will still vote for Boakai. So Costa is not taking nothing from Joseph Boakai. If anybody bring Costa to your side, you will even be, man of team, you'll be taking something for yourself because Costa is not a good product. Costa is a salesman, but he's not a product. Costa is a salesman and salesman that will sell anything and say anything about his product. But at the end of the day, nobody believes what he says.
Yeah.
And nobody trusts him. So Costa is not taking anything away from Joseph Boakai. If I'm a Unity Party president, I would not even worry about Costa. I would not even respond to Costa. Costa can be trusted. Costa is not small boy. Costa think Liberian people are stupid. You just come and say, I'm sorry, me. Yeah. I led the process, they destroyed the CPP. Shame on you for saying that. Apologize.
That's why he came to do today. That
Shame
he
on
foresee.
Yeah.
The thing is that God believes he didn't want to give life to Unity Party and he can take life away from them. That's why he thinks. Like what happened in Monserrato, what we did for the COP, how you guys end up losing Monserrato. That's why he came to do today. Like, I don't want to give your life. I don't want the reason Joseph Boakai is in this race today. But since you don't want to give him credit, we will see. and I'm on the other side now. That's just what he came out to say today. And
Yeah.
that was the whole meaning of his press
My
conference.
brother, thank you so much. You know what? I didn't even
Thanks.
want to talk about Costa thing, right?
Yeah.
But let me just spend 1 minute or 2 minutes to talk about Costa and what he says today. Costa said that Joseph Boakai, because of Joseph Boakai business, because they believe if they're going to go with the CPP, Cummins would have had an advantage, financial advantage, to have won the primary.
Yep.
So they knew very well Cummins had the support, had the vote within the CPP. And we said this thing here before.
Yep.
We said it over and over and over. The reason, in fact, when they invented the idea of block voting.
Yeah, the block voting.
We said the reason behind it. We said if you believe that Joseph Boakai is wanted, Joseph Boakai is the one that people believe in, why don't you allow the process to go through and see whether or not Joseph Boakai will win? They say no. And one of them confessed to me, one of their leaders confessed to me, telling me, Sekou, we couldn't agree with that because most of our people, most of our own United Party people, they were with us, but they were going to vote for Cummins because they believe in Cummins more than Boakai. They told me. So Costa did not take anything away from Cummins. Costa destroyed the CPP because Boakai himself didn't show leadership.
Wanted coming out.
Boakai wanted coming out because Boakai believed that he cannot compete with Cummins.
With Cummins, yeah, that's what he did.
That's what happened. Even right now, when you see that they are refusing to call for recount or call for rerun because they believe if you have a level playing field wherein everybody is allowed to go and run and let them go vote,
then Cummins will overperform.
Any of them.
That's why I told them that's the reason Cummins was always the first order of operation.
So the two cheating people now,
yeah,
Boakai people know that, you know,
both of them numbers not real.
They were cheating. Boakai know that the number they're getting, that's not their number.
Yeah.
They know that. John Weir people know that the number they're getting, that's not their number. It's all fake numbers. So that's why when anybody will come in before you say anything, I can ask you, do you believe the numbers? Do you think these numbers are realistic? And they all can say, no, we think that they were cheating. So why are you going into the process?
Yes.
If you're United Party person, you think there was a cheating, and you believe that everybody was cheated in the process. Yeah, how sure are you that you're not going to be cheated in the second round? How sure are you that we are cheated everybody just to bring the United Party into the second round for United Party to win?
Yeah.
How smart are you?
That Georgia is rigging the system for
Georgia rigging the system.
Yeah, you should be a
Georgia is cheating everybody just to give it to Joseph Boakai.
That's what I'm saying, Sekou. All in all, we are just back to 2017, like what you just said. That the numbers were cooked to eliminate one guy that both parties never wanted to meet in the round number 2. In the first order of operation, always get rid of Cummins, and then we can figure out the rest later. Cummins is a threat. We must get rid of him. The same thing saw in 2017. Give Joseph Boakai 28%, fake numbers, get him in round number 2, and that will be easy for us to claim the presidency. It's the same thing you have going on right now. But anyway, thanks for the time as always. We will be doing these post-election analysis, and our people will get it. They understand better by and by.
From time to time, my people will be coming here at night. Sometimes it can be quiet, and I really like it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I can be quiet and everything going smoothly, no problem. So from time to time, we'll still be doing show our regular time, but from time to time, we'll be coming on here.
After election, the evening time sounds better now.
Yeah, the evening time to talk about a lot of things that happen in the elections and moving forward. And by the way, unlike Brazilian Monk and Steve, I'm waiting to see if the Liberian people say the result they believe in it that are true. I'll have to agree with them, and I might take a side. Okay. I don't know where.
Yeah, okay.
Because if they believe if the process was free and fair and they're the one that voted, I have to believe them.
Yeah.
But if they don't believe it, they get on the street tomorrow, I will support them 100%. As long as they are peaceful. To only send message that the process was fraudulent, that they were cheated, that that's not the way they voted. If they get on the street tomorrow, I will support them 110%.
Oh,
All the way there. But if they sit down and they say they agree with the process, I will also support them. Whatever LeBron want, that's what I want. Me, I'm not in this thing for myself. If LeBron tell me say that how he will vote, accept it, I will accept it.
Oh yeah.
And make a decision.
That will be their choice. It's up to them.
So that, hey,
you know, the thing our people say, one of the things before we can leave, our people always looking for some cavalry to come and rescue them. They don't take decision. They're always waiting for international community, like bring from overseas. No, you got to make your own decision and take responsibility for your own action. It's not every time people will come to your rescue. If you can stand up for yourself, nobody's going to stand up for you. Thanks for the time. We'll see you again.
Absolutely, my brother. Thank you so much. So, folks, that's it for tonight. We want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV, as always. We'll be here tomorrow again. Yeah, you have a good night.
Ite wuri da gaga abada ijole majana jovenena kanyangala entushabu ijola etawati you sise mi loboni you sise mi loboni ningo sise janyon juye dabiye ningo sise baden juye sise doye Soleye atelon kaba ni wasise sinyonju ye siseye aitenya daga wari bola ai benju ya muna aitenya base so bola ai ben koni nyamuna aitenya olande so bola ai benju ya muna nai baya jusa yana aye majere sembwala nai baya koma yana entushabu sembwala majana kamunchaye aibaya jamfa chela entushabu kamungaila yo sise mi loboni somada tu m'en fais je ne te vois pas tu m'en fais pourquoi alina kamuga entushabu majana sejini solano alina safu kwa jula mora mamina futezira nete alijula mora mamina futezira Nina nyapolo ima nebe mapila pepepe Sani yejibe yorola Yejitalo yorola Koko manjudi ya kono Ideme braka kila chiembaye Wasi manjudi ya kono
over Satan power. Cause I ain't good more. I'm an overcomer. Yes, we're doing cool more. Over Satan power. Cause I ain't cool more. See, I'm an overcomer. I say yes, we're doing cool.
Yes, we're doing cool. Over Satan power. Cause I ain't cool. I'm an overcomer.
I say yes, we're doing cool.
Yes, we're doing cool. Over Satan power. Cause I ain't cool. I'm an overcomer.
I'm